Bienvenidos al Medical Spanish Podcast. Soy la doctora Molly Merton. Through this podcast, I provide interactive audio lessons that teach practical Spanish for healthcare and elsewhere. The level of this lesson is advanced, and timestamps are provided in your show notes. Welcome to another lesson covering Spanish for prenatal care. Today, we are going to practice talking about Rh factor and why some women receive an injection of immunoglobulin against Rh factor during their pregnancy. And even if you do not take care of women during their pregnancy, I promise you will learn some useful Spanish during this lesson. In this introductory lesson, we will practice interpreting from Spanish into English. In the premium lesson, we break down the vocabulary and key grammar points, and then we practice interpreting everything back into Spanish. ¿Listos? Empecemos. The lessons offered at DocMolly.com are solely for learning Spanish. They are not intended to teach medicine or provide medical advice. Interpret into English.
Vamos a hacerle exámenes de sangre para comprobar su tipo de sangre y para ver si usted tiene una proteína que se llama el factor RH.
We are going to run blood tests to determine your blood type and to see if you have a protein called Rh factor. Y ahora, expliquemos el factor RH. Interpret into English.
El factor RH se encuentra en los glóbulos rojos.
Rh factor is found on red blood cells. Now, interpret into English.
Si usted no tiene el factor RH, pero lo tiene el padre, el embarazo necesita de cuidados especiales.
If you don't have Rh factor but the father does, your pregnancy will require special care. Ok, prepárate. La próxima oración es un poco larga.
Interpreta lo siguiente en inglés. Si la madre es RH negativo y el feto es RH positivo, la madre podría producir anticuerpos contra el factor RH al exponerse a los glóbulos rojos del bebé.
If the mother is Rh negative and the fetus is Rh positive, the mother could make antibodies against Rh factor when exposed to the baby's red blood cells. Interpreta lo siguiente en inglés.
Estos anticuerpos destruyen los glóbulos rojos al exponerse a la sangre del bebé.
These antibodies destroy the red blood cells when they're exposed to the baby's blood. Now, addressing the mother, interpret the following into English.
Por eso le aplicarán una inyección de inmunoglobulina contra el factor RH para que no produzca anticuerpos.
Therefore, you will be given an injection of immunoglobulin against Rh factor so that you do not produce antibodies. So this is all really technical. Let's practice explaining this in terms that most patients will understand.
Interpreta lo siguiente en inglés. Si usted es RH negativo y el bebé es RH positivo, podría traer algunos problemas al bebé si la sangre se mezclara.
If you are Rh negative and your baby is Rh positive, it could cause some problems for the baby if your blood were to mix. And finally, interpret the following into English.
Por eso le aplicarán una inyección para proteger al bebé.
Therefore, you will be given an injection to protect the baby. Bien hecho. In our premium lessons, we review the vocabulary and break things down until we are able to interpret everything fluently back into Spanish. You can sign up for a membership at docmolly.com. This lesson is available under the Medical Spanish and the Women's Health memberships. There are links in your show notes. And special thanks to my teacher at the San Pedro Spanish School in Guatemala, Elizabeth Cortez, who helped with the Spanish for this lesson. To write this lesson, Elisa and I used information from the NIH website in Spanish. There's a link in your show notes. I'll be back soon with another lesson. Hasta la próxima! This is a production of DocMolly.com, where you will find interactive audio lessons that teach Spanish for healthcare and elsewhere.